All right, welcome back to the deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're tackling something I think a lot of us can relate to.
Yeah,
This whole quest for lasting love.
definitely.
Specifically, we're going to be diving into some excerpts from this ebook I found.
Okay.
It's by Bob Grant.
Okay.
It's called How to Find the Man of Your Dreams.
Interesting.
I know. You might be thinking, ugh, another dating advice book. But stick with me on this one.
Right, right. Like, how is this any different? There's so much advice out there already.
Exactly.
So,
So much information.
this one is like specifically for the listener who's just like over it.
Oh, yeah.
They're stuck in that cycle of just like dating apps,
They're there.
disappointing first dates.
Yep.
You know, they're ready to find that real connection and they want a plan, not just like vague platitudes.
No, they've tried those.
Like, think about it. We've all been on those dates, right? Where you're like ticking off boxes in your head,
Right.
but something just feels off. Yeah, like, okay,
Yeah.
he checks these boxes, but...
Yeah, you're looking for those must-have qualities,
Right.
but are those really what lead to long-term happiness? I don't know.
It's like, those might not actually be what you need.
That's exactly what Bob Grant dives into in this book.
Okay.
You know, he starts by painting this picture
Mm-hmm.
of the dating landscape.
Okay.
And it's a little bleak, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, he throws out this stat. Over 50 million single women in America.
Wow.
I mean,
That's a lot of people.
right.
Yeah.
Like, you're lost in the sea of singles.
And you're like, is it me?
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong?
Like, is everyone else coupled up? Exactly.
Gotcha.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
But Bob Grant, he argues that the problem isn't you.
Okay.
It's the way we're approaching relationships.
Interesting.
He says the key is to shift our focus inward,
Inward.
to like look at ourselves
Okay.
and to identify and change those like ingrained
Oh,
patterns
that's okay.
that are holding us back.
So what does he mean by patterns?
Well, he defines patterns as these unconscious habits that we all develop over time, you know, thoughts and behavior.
Okay.
And they can like really show up in how we choose partners, how we react in conflicts, you know,
I see.
even how we like sabotage ourselves when things start to get good.
Oh, wow.
So,
It's not just about like what you're doing on dates.
yeah,
right?
think deeper than that.
It's about like what's going on beneath the surface
The subconscious.
and your subconscious.
So he's saying we basically have to like reprogram ourselves.
He gives some like really powerful examples in the book, like
Right.
this story about Susan,
Okay.
who kept attracting emotionally unavailable men
Because
because she, like deep down on some level, believed she wasn't worthy of love.
Ooh, that's rough. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, though.
I think a lot of us, can relate to that feeling on some level.
Yeah. And Grant emphasizes that, like, until we become aware of these patterns, we're likely to keep repeating them.
Makes sense. Even if they're causing us pain,
Yeah.
we just kind of keep going back to what's familiar.
So that first skate is really about
Self-awareness.
deep self-awareness.
Really digging deep.
Yeah. It's about understanding your own baggage, your own tendencies,
Right.
before you even, like, think about finding a partner.
Okay.
That's step one.
Got it.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
He argues that there's this, like, huge disconnect between what we think we want in a partner versus what actually makes us happy.
Oh, interesting. I feel like I'm already being called out.
I know.
Right.
A little bit. Think about it.
Okay.
You probably have that mental checklist
Oh, yeah.
of must-haves, right?
Of course.
But if you look back at your past relationships, did they really fail because those boxes weren't ticked?
Good question.
Or was it something, like, deeper? Some incompatibility on a, like, core values level.
It's like maybe the checklist isn't the be-all, end-all.
Right. This is like getting into the like nitty gritty.
Yeah, the real stuff.
Of like building a truly fulfilling relationship.
And that's what he's talking about. So it's not just surface level.
And that's the foundation of his proven plan.
Okay.
It starts with self-awareness, then moves into
Identifying the patterns.
identifying those negative patterns, and then finally replacing them
Replacing them. Okay.
with effective ones
With better ones.
that will actually lead to healthy, lasting love.
So it's a process.
It is. It's like a journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
As much as like a guide to finding a partner.
It's about becoming the best version of yourself.
And one of the things that I appreciate about his approach is that It's not about trying to fit some mold
Right.
or play games.
No, be yourself.
It's about, like, empowerment, self-love,
Yeah.
and really knowing what you bring to the table.
What you bring.
He's big on confidence.
From the confidence, absolutely.
Like that genuine, authentic.
That radiates from within.
Yeah, that just draws people in.
Totally. He says, like, men are just naturally attracted to women who, like, radiate that inner strength.
Yeah, it's like owning your worth and knowing that you deserve to be loved.
You do deserve it.
And, like, he doesn't just leave it at that, you know?
Right.
He gives, like, really specific advice on how to cultivate that confidence.
Okay, like what?
And, like, how to project it outward. For example, he has this whole section on the importance of body language.
Oh, interesting.
And how to, like, convey a sense of self-assuredness.
That's cool.
It's like fake it till you make it, but for your inner self.
I like that. Yeah.
And, like, the more you practice these behaviors, the more natural they become. And the more you start to, like, believe in your own worth.
So it's like a positive feedback loop.
Okay. This is all making a lot of sense. But
Yeah.
I have to ask about this one part. That really caught my attention.
Okay.
This whole idea of, like, activating a trigger in a man.
What?
That makes him feel this, like, overwhelming sense of love towards you.
Okay, that sounds a little too good to be true.
Right.
It's like, where? Really?
But before we, like, dive into that,
Huh.
let's unpack what he means by trigger.
Yeah, what is he actually saying?
He's not talking about, like, manipulation
Okay.
or playing games.
No.
He's drawing on some, like, fascinating psychological principles.
Okay. Now I'm intrigued.
So, he explains that men, on a, like, subconscious level, have this, like, deep-seated need to feel significant.
To feel important.
Yeah, to feel like they're, like, a hero.
I hear.
In their own story.
I guess we all want to feel like we're making a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
And Grant argues that when a woman allows a man to step into that heroic role, to feel like he's, like, protecting her, providing for her,
Right.
making her happy.
It triggers something.
It triggers this, like, powerful surge.
Got surge.
Of love and devotion.
Wow.
So it's not about, like, being helpless.
Right.
Or needy.
No.
But about, like, allowing him to contribute his strengths.
Okay.
And feel valued.
So you're saying it's like a partnership.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Oh.
He says there are specific words you can use.
Oh, wow.
Specific actions you can take that, like, certainly tap into this primal instinct.
Okay, so what are these, like, secret words and actions?
Well, he's pretty secretive about the details in this first part of the
Oh,
book.
come on.
But he does give us a hint.
Okay.
He mentions these 8 magic words
8 magic words.
that, when uttered at the right moment, can make a man seriously consider spending his life with you.
Wait, hold on. You can't just leave us hanging like that. We have to know what these magic words are.
Patience, my friend.
Okay.
We'll get to the big reveal.
Soon enough.
But first,
Okay.
let's talk about the context for these words. He emphasizes that. They're not a manipulation tactic.
Okay, good.
It's about, like, communicating your values
Mm-hmm.
and setting healthy boundaries.
Right.
So we're not turning our listeners into, like, dating ninjas.
No.
He explains that these words are about, like, respecting yourself, knowing your worth, and ultimately
Or attracting the right guy.
attracting a man who values those same qualities.
I like that.
Okay. I'm hooked. We have to uncover the secret of these 8 magic words in the next part of our deep dive.
Yes, we do. So welcome back to our deep dive into Bob Grant's How to Find the Man of Your Dreams.
Yeah. Before we left off, we were talking about those 8 magic words that can supposedly make a man fall head over heels.
Right. And you left us in suspense.
What are they?
The 8 words are, I'm saving myself for marriage.
Wow. Okay. That's a bold statement.
It is.
It feels like a little bit of throwback, maybe, to a different era.
I can see why you'd say that. But Grant argues that in today's, like, hookup culture, these words actually have even more power.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Because they convey this, like, strong sense of self-respect and values, which are incredibly attractive qualities.
Oh, okay.
It sets you apart from the crowd, and it shows that you're not, just looking for a casual fling.
So it's not about, like, playing hard to get.
No.
It's about genuinely valuing yourself.
And your future.
Okay.
Exactly. And he argues that this approach can actually make you more desirable, not less. It, like, flips the script.
Oh,
And it
extra.
triggers this deeper level of respect and admiration in a man.
That makes sense.
Mm.
I can see how that might appeal to someone who's, looking for a serious, committed relationship.
Yeah. And Grant, like, backs this up with anecdotes from his own life and the experiences of his clients. He even claims that his wife uttering those words to him is what ultimately led him to propose.
That's quite a story.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to admit, I'm, a little skeptical.
Oh, yeah?
What about the men who are, intimidated by that kind of statement?
That's a fair point. And
Yeah.
Grant, acknowledges that not every man will respond positively.
Okay.
But he argues that the ones who are turned off by this are probably not the kind of men you want to build a future with anyway.
Right. It's like a built-in filter
Exactly.
for finding someone who's on the same page,
Values-wise.
values-wise.
And remember, these 8 words are just one piece of his overall strategy.
Right. Yeah.
He also talks about the importance of pacing the relationship and avoiding those early stage pitfalls that can totally sabotage a potential connection.
He has a whole section on first, second, and third dates. Right?
It is. It's like a playbook
for
navigating those early interactions.
I'm curious, what are some of his key first date tips? What does he say about making a good impression?
Well, one of the biggest things he emphasizes is authenticity.
Okay.
Don't try to be someone you're not, or present a curated version of yourself.
Yeah.
Just relax, be genuine, and let your personality shine through.
That sounds refreshing.
Yeah.
No need for a carefully crafted persona.
Exactly.
But what about those awkward silences? Any advice on keeping the conversation flowing?
He suggests focusing on finding common ground
Okay.
and asking open-ended questions
Yeah.
that invite him to share about himself.
Okay.
It's not about grilling him with an interview-style interrogation, but rather creating a space for genuine connection.
So it's about being a good listener
Yes.
and showing genuine interest in getting to know him.
Exactly. And he also encourages women to be playful and flirtatious.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to show that you're interested and have a sense of humor.
It's about creating that spark, that sense of excitement and attraction.
Exactly.
But what about the age-old question, who pays on the first date?
Oh, yeah.
Does Grant have a stance on that?
It's interesting. He doesn't give a definitive answer.
Okay.
He acknowledges that times have changed and, many women prefer to split the bill.
Yeah.
But he also recognizes that some men still appreciate the traditional gesture of the woman offering to pay her share.
Right. It's about finding that balance
Yeah.
between modern dating norms and not dismissing those chivalrous gestures altogether.
Exactly. And he also talks about how to end the date gracefully.
Okay.
He suggests leaving him wanting more
Yeah.
without playing games or being too coy.
So no need for those vague, I had a nice time texts afterwards.
No, he encourages direct communication.
Okay.
Be clear about whether you'd like to see him again.
Yeah.
And express your interest genuinely.
Okay.
He also suggests ending the date on a high note, perhaps with a lighthearted joke or a compliment that will leave him thinking about you.
Okay. So we've covered first date basics.
Yeah.
But what about the next stage?
Okay.
Does he have any advice on moving from casual dating to something more serious?
Yes. He talks about the importance of pacing the relationship. Don't rush into defining things too quickly. Allow the connection to deepen naturally over time.
So it's about enjoying the process of getting to know each other without putting pressure on the outcome.
Exactly. He also cautions against oversharing too soon.
Okay.
It's tempting to want to tell him everything about your life,
Yeah.
but he suggests holding back a little
Uh-huh.
and revealing yourself gradually.
It's about maintaining that sense of mystery and intrigue.
Right. He also suggests being mindful of how much time you spend together in the early stages.
Yeah.
Don't fall into the trap of seeing each other every day.
Uh-huh.
Allow for some space and time apart to maintain your own independence. And avoid becoming too enmeshed too quickly.
That makes sense. It's about preserving that balance between individual lives and a budding relationship.
Exactly. And as the relationship progresses, he encourages couples to have open and honest conversations about their values, goals, expectations for the future.
It's about making sure you're on the same page and building a foundation of trust and mutual understanding.
Absolutely.
But what about those deeper insecurities that can creep up,
Oh, yeah.
especially after past relationship hurts?
Mm-hmm.
Does he address that at all?
Yes, he dedicates a significant portion of the book to addressing those emotional hurdles.
Okay.
He emphasizes that true confidence comes from within and that it's the most attractive quality a woman can possess.
So it's not about, faking it.
No.
It's about genuinely believing in your own worth.
Exactly. And he offers a range of exercises and strategies for building self-esteem and overcoming past hurts.
Okay.
He even encourages women to develop a self-love ritual.
I love that. What exactly does a self-love ritual entail?
It's about making time for activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit.
Okay.
He suggests things like meditation, journaling, spending time in nature, pursuing creative hobbies, even just taking a long, luxurious bath.
It's about, making yourself a priority and filling your own cup first.
Exactly. He believes that when you radiate self-love and confidence,
Yeah.
you naturally attract men who will appreciate and value you.
Okay. This is all starting to paint a picture
Yeah.
of, this strong, independent woman
Yes.
who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to go after it.
Absolutely.
But what about those, societal pressures? Like the emphasis on looks.
Yeah.
And, fitting a certain beauty standard. Does he address that?
Yes, and he's very clear on this point. He believes that true beauty comes from within
Okay.
and that focusing on external appearances is a recipe for insecurity and unhappiness.
So it's not about, conforming to some ideal,
No,
but about embracing your, unique beauty and letting your inner light shine.
exactly. He encourages women to dress in a way that makes them feel confident and comfortable rather than trying to, impress others.
He also talks about this, secret weapon that women can use to, stir up a man's passion.
Oh, yes.
What's that all about?
This is where he introduces the concept of feminine mystique.
Okay, now I'm, really intrigued. What exactly does that entail?
He explains that it's not about, playing hard to get or being manipulative.
Okay.
It's about cultivating a sense of mystery and allure that draws men in. Think of it as that, magnetic quality that makes you unforgettable.
So it's about being, confident and self-assured, but also leaving a little something to the imagination.
Precisely. He encourages women to, embrace their femininity.
Okay.
Not in a stereotypical way, but in a way that celebrates their unique strengths and qualities.
I like that. It's about, owning your power and expressing it in a way that feels authentic to you.
Exactly.
He also talks about the importance of emotional independence.
Yes.
Why is that so crucial in attracting a lasting relationship?
He believes that men are drawn to women who are, secure and self-sufficient, women who don't need a man to complete them.
It's about, having a fulfilling life outside of a relationship.
Yes.
So you're not bringing, baggage or unmet needs into a potential partnership.
Right. He emphasizes the importance of having your own passions, interests, support systems.
Yeah.
It's about being a whole person, not just, half of a couple.
This is all starting to paint a picture of, the kind of woman who attracts a lasting, fulfilling relationship.
Yeah.
It's about self-awareness, confidence, emotional intelligence, and a strong sense of self.
Exactly. And according to Bob Grant, that's the kind of woman who not only finds the man of her dreams, but, inspires him to become the best version of himself.
This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive so far.
It has.
We've covered everything from those 8 magic words to the power of feminine mystique and the importance of, emotional independence.
And we've still got more to explore.
Oh, there's more.
In the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
we'll delve into Bob Grant's advice on moving from dating to that all-important proposal.
Okay.
How do you make him see you as the one? Stay tuned to find out.
Okay, we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Bob Grant's How to Find the Man of Your Dreams. And we've covered, a lot of ground.
We have.
Self-awareness,
Yeah.
confidence, those intriguing 8 magic words.
Yeah.
Even this idea of feminine mystique.
We've explored, the foundation of what makes a woman irresistible.
Yeah. And not in a, superficial way,
No.
but in a way that draws a man in on a, deeper level.
Deeper level, exactly.
And now for the big question.
The big one.
How do you go from dating to getting that ring on your finger?
The propose.
Does Bob Grant have like some secret formula for snagging a proposal?
He definitely doesn't advocate for any sort of manipulation or like pressure tactics.
No ultimatums.
He believes that a proposal should come from a place of like genuine desire and commitment, not from a feeling of like obligation or being, backed into a corner.
So it's not about like setting ultimatums or like dropping hints.
Right. No.
It's about like creating an environment where he naturally feels inspired to take that next step.
To get down on one knee.
And he has some like really interesting insights into how to do that. One of the key things he emphasizes is like letting go of the outcome.
Let go of the outcome. Interesting. How do you like attract a proposal by not focusing on getting a proposal?
It's about like shifting your focus from the end goal to the quality of the relationship itself.
Yeah.
So instead of like obsessing over timelines or like putting pressure on him to commit, focus on building like a genuine connection and enjoying the journey together.
Being present.
So it's about being present in the relationship and letting things like unfold organically.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you can't like express your desire for marriage.
Right.
He encourages women to be open and honest about their like long-term goals. But in a way that feels, authentic and non-demanding.
It's about like communicating your needs and desires without making it an ultimatum.
Right. And he suggests doing this through actions as well as words. Like show him your marriage material by being a supportive partner, being reliable, being someone he can truly depend on.
So it's about demonstrating your value.
Through your actions.
Yeah.
And letting him see what a fulfilling life together would look like.
Okay. And he has some like fascinating insights into the male psyche that I think are really valuable here.
Yeah. Tell me more.
He argues that men have this like deep-seated need to feel like they have a purpose.
A purpose.
Like a mission in their relationships.
I could see that.
So it's not just about meeting his emotional needs.
Right.
It's also about making him feel like he's like contributing to something bigger than himself.
So it's like tapping into that.
Yeah.
Hero instinct.
He suggests like finding ways to involve him in your passions and goals.
Oh.
Making him feel like he's a vital part of like your life's journey.
Creating a shared vision.
It's about creating a like shared vision for the future.
I like that.
He also talks about this idea of creating a void.
A void.
That he'll instinctively want to fill. What's that all about?
Okay. This is where it gets a little strategic.
Okay.
He explains that men are wired to be providers and problem solvers.
Okay.
It's in their DNA to want to step up and take care of the woman they love.
So if you like create a space for him to fulfill that role, he'll feel like more invested in the relationship.
Exactly. It's not about being helpless or needy, but about like allowing him to contribute his strengths and feel valued. For example, you might share a challenge you're facing and ask for his advice. Or you might let him like take the lead on planning a date or fixing something around your apartment.
It's about creating a dynamic
where you complement each other and bring out the best in each other.
And like, I think it's important to reiterate here that Grant is not advocating for manipulation.
No.
It's about like understanding male psychology. And creating a win-win situation where both partners feel like fulfilled and appreciated. He also has a whole section on how to make a man think it was his idea to propose.
Oh, that seems a little sneaky.
I know, right? But it's not about trickery.
Okay.
It's about like subtly guiding him towards that realization that you're the woman he wants to spend his life with.
Okay, so how do you do that?
He suggests things like introducing him to your family and friends.
Okay.
Making like future plans together.
Yeah.
And generally creating a sense of like a shared life and purpose.
Like weaving him into your world.
Yeah, it's about weaving him into the fabric of your world in a way that feels like natural and effortless.
Not forced.
It's about like planting those seeds of commitment.
Yeah.
And letting them grow organically.
I like that.
And he believes that when a man feels like deeply connected, appreciated, and like fulfilled.
In the relationship.
In a relationship, yeah.
The desire to propose will naturally arise.
That's a much more empowering approach than like sitting around waiting for him to pop the question.
Totally. And ultimately, Bob Grant's message is one of like hope. and possibility.
Yeah.
He believes that any woman, regardless of her age, background, or relationship history, can find lasting love.
That's so inspiring to hear,
It is.
especially in like a dating landscape that can often feel like so discouraging.
He reminds us that finding the man of your dreams is not a matter of luck,
Right.
but like a journey of self-discovery, growth,
Uh-huh.
and conscious action.
And while his approach may not be conventional,
Yeah.
it's definitely like thought-provoking.
It is.
And it like challenges us to rethink our assumptions about dating and
To
relationships.
see things from a new perspective.
He encourages us to take ownership of our love lives
Yeah.
and to believe that we deserve a love that is like deep, fulfilling, and lasting.
We all deserve that.
So for our listeners out there who are on their own journey to finding love, remember Bob Grant's words. It's not about waiting for Prince Charming,
No.
but about becoming the queen of your own life
Yes.
and attracting a king who is worthy of your crown.
That's a great way to put it.
And on that note, it feels like a good place to wrap up our deep dive into Bob Grant's How to Find the Man of Your Dreams.
It does.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights and are feeling like empowered
Yeah.
to create the love life you desire.
Absolutely.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Head over to our social media.
Yeah.
Share your takeaways from this episode. What
Yeah.
resonated with you? What are you going to try out in your own dating life?
And remember, like, the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself.
Yes.
Cultivate self-love, embrace your worth, and never settle for anything less than you deserve.
Thanks for joining us
Yes, thank you.
on The Deep Dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.